and Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association, and I started looking at things like, and it's just my view. Like I started to disagree with traffic tickets, and we can argue it's revenue generation and all this kind of stuff. And then
I sort of disagree with traffic tickets. We can argue whether it's revenue generation. You know damn good and well, Dominic, that traffic law trumps the Constitution in the eyes of every single patrol officer. And you know that you don't have any right, no American has any rights during a traffic stop. If you don't have the right to just pull away from this traffic stop or this guy with the blue lights, if you're not free to travel down the road, you are not free. You've lost all of your rights. You can't even go anywhere. And if you do, they're going to deploy all the resources and the manpower of the state to bring you to bear. You know good and well, Dominic, that issuing traffic citations is absolutely a revenue generating scheme concocted by the evil people of the state. You know that.
Again, it's subjective. But I started to look at things of, am I basing citations off of attitude? The job of the police officer is to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society. It's to keep the peace and maintain order in a free society.
That's not even true. The true job of a police officer is to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that's the oath they took. It's not to keep the peace. It's not to do anything but to protect rights. Oh, that guy's rights are being trampled? Oh, that guy committed a crime against that person and left a real material victim. But you know what the cops actually act out and what they actually do? They become the victimizers. They steal from you. They intrude upon your rights. They harm you. They harass you. The very things that if you did the same thing without a uniform, badge, and a gun and the authority of the state, if you did the same thing to other people that police officers do to you, you would rightly be deemed as a criminal in society.
So I asked cops, I said, how many of you, this was like 10 years ago, how many of you base your traffic citation on the attitude or the words of the driver? Tons. Yeah, of course I do. Of course, because it's changed my behavior. It's not
interesting. If his story is true, then his words line up with exactly what Ted Stern just said. Absolutely. Of course I do. This is a crazy, crazy video and crazy admissions by two former police officers. And we know this is true across the board.
Not their job to change somebody's behavior. That's the court's job. It's the job. Now, if you say, yes, I'm going to document.
That's not even true. It's not the court's job to change your behavior. It's the court's job to make sure that true criminals get punished.
The instant, right? Because that's your job, is to report what you've observed, clearly, eradicate violence through use of force when necessary. But when a cop says, and this is the pebble in the pond that starts the ripple effect for a tidal wave. So it's my job to change their behavior. No, it's not. No, it's not. When you stop a car, somebody's speeding, they're doing 35 over. You stop them, and they pulled over, you immediately stopped the behavior that they were breaking the law for. The issuance of the citation purely without any question should be on the action that you saw. So I always sat there and said, you decide. I was an FTO. You decide, period, whether or not you're going to write the citation before you make it up to the car, period. When that driver, it doesn't matter if that driver tells me to go f my mother, doesn't matter if they suck their teeth and don't say anything. Anything based off of that is personal. It's subjective. You might have somebody look and go, you know what? Officer, I really don't give a shit about your ticket. And you could be like, I'm going to write it. I'd be like, okay, well, you're just a piece of shit. That doesn't bother me.